Hey there guys, Fancy Dragon here, aka Syndromes, and welcome back to Avorion Extended. Oh dear, so the last episode was quite a bit of a doozy, needless to say, and if anything, it kind of proves one of my main points about this mod. I think that quite many of you have already thought that, oh wait, we are in the quote, iron sectors and we already have things up to Oganite. This mod seems completely busted, right? Well, no, because as you can see, we are we are flying around with an almost 1 million hit point ship, and we're currently chilling here with our hit point pool currently being at 50% because of a very stubborn infestation of pirates that these guys cannot, you know, really take care of. So that is something that we are going to be focusing on today, as we really mostly kind of figure out what we want to do. Now, there is a certain something to be said about the extended cycle over here. And one of the things that I really wanted to make sure that the extended cycle does is actually, you know, fulfill its purpose. So one of the things that I really wanted to check out was the idea that perhaps we should go and, you know, take a look what's going on over here at these scrapyards. Because I really do want to kind of assign the ship to stuff like that. We will also need to do something about the lapse of sanity. I think that yesterday's video has pretty much proven simply the fact that doing just fighters is not going to work. And one of the first things, once we actually have some, you know, stuff at our... Actually, what is going on over here? I think... Did we run out of things? Yes, we did. Well, that's perfectly fine. We can just tell this ship to go over here and do its own thing. And what else do we have? So we have the titanium drone. What about here? Yes, okay, so this place is also empty. That's perfectly fine. We can tell it to go over here. And it is, in fact, just going to do its own thing. We're gonna very quickly wait until the Iron Drone can do the same. And we're just gonna make sure that our regular low-tier mining ships are still doing its own thing. And we're also going to take a very quick look as to what is going on in our Trinium sector, because I think one of the problems over there right now is that my ships are finding these... Yeah, this is the place. Extended cycle, get your buttocks over here, please. And yes, one of the problems there is that they are currently going through this huge kind of section. Let's talk to that scrapyard. Buy a salvaging license for 60 minutes. There we go. And just go. Just go. It will all be fine. One thing I will want to do for a moment here is to make sure that these things are actually picking up any salvage systems, because you can already see that they are, in fact, breaking these things apart from a very great distance. And one of the things that I'm kind of worried about is that this distance might be a little bit too much for picking up items. One of the things that I remember having to experience was simply the fact that these ships had to have a slightly smaller range. You had to find the lowest range turrets simply because it would increase the chance that anything that kind of, you know, falls apart and, you know, like this is just going to help. But it looks like this thing... Now, when the ship itself is at this sort of angle, it should help. You can see them picking up all the stuff. We just picked up a Tesla turret. And, yeah. Now then, on the subject of auxiliary ships, there is something to be said about us creating more other combat ships, and that is obviously something we're gonna do. If anything, I'm currently looking at the rate of my regeneration when it comes to health, and I realize, well, maybe a dedicated repair drone would, you know, kind of make things a little bit better. If anything, that would probably be something that I could put some fighters into and just use them as out-of-combat repair things, but I also want to do kind of have this kind of support during those battles as well. But keeping that in mind, we also are going to let this ship do its own thing during combat. And in order to do that, one of the first thing, apart from, you know, placing more turrets on it, one of the things that I really want to do is actually give it much better torpedoes, because something I noticed is that the ship's captain is kind of much more capable of judging when it is the right time to actually open fire on a ship. It is a lot more conservative when it comes to using torpedoes, and it doesn't tend to miss a lot. Of course, it doesn't fire on cooldown, which again justifies the use of much better torpedoes simply because it's not going to go and burn through them as quickly as, you know, I would by just firing on cooldown. That is also something to keep in mind. Apart from that, the one thing that I don't like about the concept of making more ships right now is simply the fact that, due to the way that this version of Avorion still works, and I'm not exactly sure if it's still the case with Avorion 2.0, but giving ships turrets with wildly different ranges is a very bad idea. That is something you probably already saw when we were trying to run the Lapse of Sanity with both chain guns and defensive turrets. Now, the Lapse of Sanity is, in fact, beefy enough where it doesn't really need any additional protection from torpedoes per se, but if I can find a defensive turret that is much more in line with the rest of the chain guns, and if anything, I should probably take a look at what are we rocking in terms of distances. So these turrets are 7.30, well, basically 7.5 thousand meters, and these over here are slightly out, but still pretty much on the same-ish level. But yeah, alright, so I would say that we're going to... Okay, first of all, making additional ships is probably not something we need to do. We're going to leave it. We don't need to, you know, keep making them. I can already say that this is not going to help us too much. But yeah, for now, we are going to let the extended cycle do its own thing. And as for us, we are going to very quickly visit the mining place and see what our mining ships are up to, because I've not seen a influx of trinium for quite a while now. So yes, this was what I was talking about. I think they have pretty much mined through all of this sector, all of the things that matter, and right now the only thing that they have to do is to go through all the hidden, you know, hidden asteroids. The only problem is that these hidden asteroids just happen to be amazingly large. So this thing over here, I don't know for how long. It looks like both of them actually are shooting at the same time, and they're not really gaining a lot of, oh, that is a big block. Now hopefully by the time that you can actually, you know, go through that, it is going to be well worth it. But there is a bit of a stupid little thing that tends to happen. Oh, wow. That is a big block. That is an amazingly big block. Ow. I did not mean to do that. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure that by the time they finish grabbing all of this, like going through this, the problem is they're not going to be able to pick up all of the thing. They're going to go to the ore refinery, they're going to refine their ores, but they're not going to, quote, see the dropped ore, like the remaining dropped ore that we have over here. And, well, it's a quirk of the mechanics, and I really wish that it was a quirk that we could do without. And right now the problem is, these guys are probably empty. Like, probably not, but let's just take a look at the fleet menu. And yeah, see, these guys, both the Trinium Miner and the Mining Drone Alpha, both of them are completely empty. Like, they have been mining this one block for the last however long, and there's just no way that these things are going to be, you know, capable of fitting all of this material here. Oh, hello. Lapse of sanity, do your thing. There goes both of the mining ships. And the lapse of sanity are just going to go in and mop up everything else. I think this is the time where we actually do need to make the lapse of sanity a little bit more quick. Simply because by the time we get to these positions, chances are these guys are most likely going to be dead. And keeping up with your enemies is something you kind of need to do anyway. So, yeah. The lapse of sanity is quite slow. But can it reach them with its torpedoes? I suppose the only problem is that it is going through a navigational hazard, and so it is in fact taking its time. Yeah, that trinium, the trinium that is left in the system, cannot come faster than, you know, it just cannot come fast enough. I need to replace all the hangar bays, or at least most of the hangar bays, with something a little bit more feasible, so to speak. There goes one torpedo. Oh, there we go. And our relations to the Syndicate is improving. And there comes one more torpedo. Oh, there we go. Nice hit. Come on, one more. The problem right now is that this is actually a pretty beefy ship, so I think the sanity will need to actually get within range of it to actually do something. Usually it's not really a problem because, you know, the enemies fly towards you, so having a very slow, very unyielding, and, you know, cumbersome ship is not really that big of a problem. Oh. This mine is not having fun. This mine is about to get hit by my own torpedo, right? That would be quite a shame. Well, those shields are down. So yeah, one of the things we are definitely going to do is make sure that the lapse of sanity can move. The engine will be redesigned to the best of my ability. And I'm pretty sure that the turning speed is also something that we just need to fix at some point. Ooh, there we go. Getting some of that good damage in. This is not as thrilling as I thought it would be. Well, one more hit. Having smaller, more agile ships right now would be a very good thing. Oh, there we go. And we also got paid for that. Well, nicely done. Alright, let us... Oh, and there's the miners. They just immediately jump back. So, I love this mod. Like, the automated defense mod is just amazingly good at what it's set out to do. And essentially what it does, it just gives you a way to add logic responses to your ships. It's like, oh, if a enemy ship jumps in, you can either ignore it or jump away or engage it, and jump away if you are taking damage, or jump away. So for example, imagine if we had a glass cannon sort of ship. So it would, for example, be a ship that is equipped with, say, torpedoes, like the Lapse of Sanity. So obviously during this particular engagement, the Lapse of Sanity was so far out of the battle that there was just no way that it would take any amount of damage, so it was completely safe, and it could provide a rather healthy amount of firepower. So imagine a kind of like a torpedo bomber or something that would jump out immediately as soon as it takes damage or something. And obviously the whole idea is that I think that the way that it works, if you set its damage, you know, jump out sort of thing, it will jump back once it repairs that damage. So it's kind of like a juggling act. I really kind of want to explore it, and I really do wish that I really do hope that the mod author is in fact going to update that mod for the 2.0 variant of Avorion, because it's making my life so much easier, it's not even funny. Anyway, speaking of which, there is a ship that I do kind of want to make. And one of the things that I would really need, well, it would be a repair turret, but I think that the repair turrets are actually sold on the reconstruction yard or the shipyard. I would actually have to go and check, but I think that's the case. Anyway, I'm gonna stop talking now. I'm just going to let our mining ships do their thing. And, one of the first things I'll have to do is immediately make the ship a little bit more turnable. I really do believe that one of the more currently dangerous things in terms of NPCs are the ones that are using Seeker missile launchers. Not the torpedoes, the launchers. And so I was thinking about, well, how about I create kind of like bomber craft? Like very small 2-slot Corvette kind of gunboat, well, bomber technically, just straight up bomber ships that would be all speed and just, you know, maybe slap a defensive turret on it or something just to intercept torpedoes. And then I realized the NPC would have no clue what to do with just outright, you know, seeker shots. And I would actually have to make it powerful enough, or rather, it would have to have enough hit points that if I did set it to jump out once it takes any amount of damage, well, that would just basically mean that it would have to tank as much damage as it possibly could receive while it angles itself to jump out of the sector. And considering the salvo potential and just the amount of sheer damage those NPCs cost, it would probably have to be a third or even half the size of this thing, and that's a scary thought. I'm not afraid of the concept of micromanaging my ships. I could easily just a reminder, by the way, you can in fact pause the game in the you know, in this menu and actually kind of issue orders if you want to. But the problem is, it would make every single engagement somewhat problematic because, and this is something I really don't like about the game, you jump into the center of the sector. You don't jump into the like the outskirts of the sector. It would make things a little bit more interesting in that sort of sense, because it would give you a chance to kind of reorientate yourself, set up battle lines, set up escorts for heavier ships. It would be a little bit more interesting, I think. There is probably a reason why they didn't do it that way, and I am obviously not privy to it, but that would be my guess. Anyway, so honestly, what I really want to do right now is take a look. Where is our hangar base? I'm not going to remove all of them. I still think that there is a completely valid reason to have them, but I would really like to have this this thruster a little bit more right now. And just like that, the whole ship is suddenly a little bit more tolerable. Oh, we just got some trinium. You know, right as I did that, we just got some trinium. There we go. I'm actually just going to make sure that this thing is as light as possible. Something like this. And, I don't think we have enough trinium to actually replace any more. But let's take a look very quickly. Well, the gyros are not really worth... Oh, we still have titanium generators. That is something we'll need to actually fix as well. Well, the assembly's probably something we don't need anymore. It'll be just fine. I mean, if anything, I would actually like to turn this into an engine for now. Okay, what else do we have? Okay, let's take a look at these hangar bays. I still don't think that we need so many of them, and so into engines you go. Honestly, I would just keep this one version, and I don't know, maybe turn this into a thruster? Okay, we have actually reached the situation where we do not have enough engineers, and that is kind of screwing with our ship. So let's see if we can do something about it. It kind of looks like we only are missing 2. Well, there we go. Okay, yeah. See, now the ship is a little bit more feasible. And I'm pretty sure that this, what I just did right now, is something that I'll probably not be able to do in Avorion 2.0 simply because of how it treats the whole jumping mechanic. But yeah. So, I am kind of wondering, do I want a third R mining ship? Because they are encountering these humongously huge blocks of trinium, and it is legitimately, like, taking quite a while for them to go through. I am actually kind of surprised. But yeah, the Lapse of Sanity is just a little bit more zippy now. I only wish that this thing was covered. But honestly, out of all the things, this is quite easy, yeah, there we go. That'll be just fine. Is it just a straight-up thruster? Yes, it is. Alright. That should be perfectly fine. Okay, we are getting some subspace signals, so that's a good thing. That means that in just a moment, apart from also getting some trinium, we're also going to get some bad things to shoot, which is always a good thing. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to send the Lapse of Sanity just straight up, just yeet it into this place. Like this. And the moment the enemies will jump in, I'm just going to open fire like this to make them hostile. And just let it do the do. Okay, there are the aliens. I just made sure... Oh wow, that was a salvo. That was just a straight up salvo of damage that they just unleashed on some poor soul. And there goes one. So the Lapse of Sanity, it doesn't look like it is accelerating too fast. It does kind of look like the ship itself is preferring to engage the enemies from a distance while it still has the torpedoes. And I'm not really sure if that's the, the best thing we can do about this. I think that after all of these attacks, one of the things I really want to do is in fact actually move the cycle back to this system. Because I'm pretty sure that whatever we killed here is slightly more, better in terms of loot than this titanium sector. So, yes, let's exactly do that. Let's go. Alright. So, our mining ship should be back. Yes, there it is. That's the trinium miner. I mean, they're both trinium miners. I should probably, do something about the names. But yeah, all is well. Alright, ladies and gents. What I'm going to do just now is I'm gonna probably leave... Like, I've been talking non-stop. My session length currently, if I am to address the OBS, it's only 33 minutes. And I've been talking almost all that time. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to let these guys do their thing and just get us some resources. Just let it kind of chillax a little bit. And here we see the crux of the problem. It looks like the mod does include some bigger asteroids, and no matter how many turrets this thing has, it looks like it will take quite a fair bit of damage to actually go through this thing, and there's just no way this little dinky ship is going to fit all of that in. And so that is currently stunting our overall progression when it comes to trinium. We got some trinium now, it's 23,000, but I mean, this place has so many non-hidden ones, the ones that they could mine out very easily, and yet these ships are going for these things. It is honestly quite problematic. And I'm not exactly sure I know what to do with this. There's a couple of things I really want to make sure that we upgrade on this thing to make it as lethal as physically possible. And one of them is actually to remove all of these kind of bad torpedoes that we currently have. I think that now that this thing is actually using them much more conservatively, as already said before, we can actually give it much better torpedoes than we used to. But that's not the only thing, because one of the things I really want to grab is this one right here. It's not obviously the best turret, but it's, sorry, not turret, but the control unit, but at the same time, it is easily the best one we can currently fit on the ship. Obviously, we cannot make duplicate variants of that, and that is going to give us quite a few more armed slots that we can then populate with all of these just regular, normal chainfire turrets. I don't think that there's any here. That aren't like that. Yeah, let's just grab everything we can here. Like, some of these are less better than others, but over time we can just replace all of them anyway. So I'm not really worried about that. And yeah, just give it something like these torpedoes or something. Though, honestly, I would actually rather find the most close range one. Just so that there's any, you know, so there's some kind of incentive to get close to the target and actually open fire. Also, something, we are going to grab both of these, simply because we will need them anyway for the other ships. And yeah, with that in mind, let's very quickly place them out. Oh dear. This looks amazing. You know what? Let's do it. Oh, this is going to be terrible. Let's see what it does. I just want to see this thing pulverize everything. Oh, my drone got destroyed immediately. I hate that the game does not pause the game when you're in a loading screen. Like, how could I, like, not do that? Like, tell me. And there it go. The shields are immediately down. There's nothing new in that. Ooh! Beamed. That dude just got beamed. Oh, you got into range. Oh, you got into range, dude. Oh, that is beautiful. I suppose the biggest problem for it would be the Seeker one, simply because they can in fact just sit at range for as long as they wish. Oh, you are getting in range. Oh! Big mistake. Big mistake. There's the second wave. The second wave also has the Seeker shots. But that was a very unlucky rock. Oh man, look at the amount of punishment this thing is taking. See, this is what I'm not really sure of. I could make backup ships, like, you know, to back this thing up, but can they sustain this sort of focus fire? I don't think so. None of these ships are currently within range, except for this one, and he might get melted in a sec. Oh, never mind, it's gonna be this one. Oof. Oh, and now this one. No, like, the moment it actually opens fire on something, it just melts it. I wonder if it's the positioning of the guns that does not allow it to always open fire. Oh, you got got, dude. Oh, wow. And now one more? No, there's one more. One more wave. Okay, so that's wave number 3, right? We are slowly nearing the 50% mark, though. It will automatically jump out. I'm not really sure why is it not. Oh dear. Haha, I'm in danger. I'm wondering why is it not instantaneously just opening fire on target. It seems to kind of take too long to do that, and I'm not exactly sure that's the ship's fault. I still think that the AI in this game, or rather, the way that it handles just flying in general, is somewhat problematic. There goes another one. Right now it looks like it's actually that one cannon one that is shooting from a very long distance that is causing the biggest amount of damage. Funnily enough. And now both of them are outside of its range. Oh. Am I getting shot? Ooh. We still have 15% left, though. Okay, that's one more wave. Oh, that's good. It just instantaneously went for the one that has the seeker shot. And now it does not. These guys actually have torpedoes. We are currently down to 10% hull left until it starts to jump out. See, at this point in time, it's very hard for me to tell, should I remove the torpedoes to make it chase the enemy, or just give it better torpedoes? Oh man, look at the amount of damage it's dishing out, holy hell. 7% left though. The question is, can it kill these guys before it is in fact forced out of the system, of the sector? You know what? Lapse of sanity, I do believe you can take 10 more. Okay, now we have 13. The only problem is that I think that below 50%, it is going to start losing blocks. I think that's how it works. But at the same time, I do believe this might be the last one. This ship, single-handedly, is bringing it down to 40%. And honestly, that is kind of scary. Okay, stop. It is about to jump away. Lamps of Sanity, reducing to 30%. You can do it. This thing must just kill it, please. And I just want you to catch up to it and just kill it, please. Oh. We are starting to lose blocks. I think I just dropped an item. And this thing is just sitting there at max range and not giving. Not giving a single toss. Well, the lapse of sanity is going like at 100 meters per second and trying to get within range. Come on, AI. You're not that bad. I praise you for one episode, and you just instantaneously go full dumb on me. The repair bill is going to be amazing. Like, it's not going to destroy it or anything, but I do believe we are, in fact, just losing blocks. Yeah, see? That is a part that just came off. And I'm actually pretty sure that this thing just ran out of torpedoes. Get within range and open fire, Jesus, come on. I could take manual control, but at this point it's just... It's just painful to watch, dude. I'm not even going to fix this. Like, if you cannot kill one half-dead pirate with your Omicron rating, simply because you cannot figure out that, oh, I need to... Look, there is literally nothing there. If this thing cannot kill it, it does not deserve the victory. Yeah, you do that. Yeah, please retreat. You do that. It's obviously what you need to do. Disgrace. You know what? Extended? I'm not even joking, just come here and kill it. I mean, all am I doing is I'm just bringing a ship that just happens to have torpedoes on it. I could probably just as easily bring the mining ships and have them finish it off. Unless it switches fire on me. Come on, Lapsy boy. You can do it. Oh, there's the extended. I brought the Lapse of Sanity back simply because I don't want that thing to focus on this. That would be very bad. Well, Lapse of Sanity, do tell, can you actually kill the enemy this time around? As the extended cycle lobs... Come on, dude. Please understand that there is a rock in front of you that is currently eating all of your torpedoes. Please figure this out, I beg you. It's the last dude. It's the last dude. If we jump out, like, you don't understand, like, if we jump out right now, these guys are going to instantaneously respawn. Like, if we enter this place again, after all of my ships jump out, the spawn waves will reset. And I don't want that to happen. Oh, screw this. This episode is getting a bit too long. Face front towards enemy. Shoot enemy. Oh no. This was so bad. Oh. Okay, first of all, loot. And worry about everything else later, please. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm rather disappointed. Like, if they could fix this nonsense, I would be very grateful, because it's so annoying. It's not even annoying, it's just straight up aggravating when you see that there is nothing preventing your ships from doing it, but for some reason it's still like, why? I'm really hoping that in 2.0, this is gonna get fixed. I have noticed that the AI behavior is much better, it's much more dynamic. I really wish that it is going to fix all of this, because I'll be honest with you, this is the worst thing ever. I've been wanting to make a, oh dear. I've been wanting to make a, like an AI-only playthrough for quite a while now. And to have to kind of deal with this nonsense is just terrible. Like, that is the only thing that is currently holding me back. Sadly enough. But yeah. Alright, ladies and gents, we're gonna pause here. This video is getting a little bit too long. And in the next episode, we are going to hopefully not forget that we are currently being attacked by pirates, and hopefully it's not going to insta-kill the cycle. Oof. Deleted. Very, very deleted. But yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.